Hey, what's going on, everybody? Just want to show you a quick video of me setting up some eggs in the incubator. I had my pastel orange dream yellow belly female just lay a pretty nice size clutch. I'm pretty sure there's at least 10 or 12 eggs in there from a black pastel highway pairing. So we got black pastel gravel yellow belly to pastel orange dream yellow belly. You can make some really beautiful snakes, like, of course, black pastel highways, orange dream highways. And something I'm really looking forward to make is a black pastel orange dream highway, which has never been made before, and I'm very interested in seeing how that's going to look. Okay guys, so right here is going to show you how I take this female off of her eggs. So she's rolled out 2 of them. It could just be that they just rolled out because it's a large clutch, and she's a first time girl. Even though she's a big female, she's a first timer, and she is pretty feisty, so I'm expecting her to be a bit feisty whenever I try to take the eggs out. So here we go. Okay guys, so you can see she's pretty feisty. She's actually trying to come at me very aggressively. Probably one of the more aggressive snakes I've ever taken off eggs before. So I'm just gonna come in through the back without, you see how she comes up? So I'm just gonna try to come in through the back. The best thing I'm gonna do right now is just put like this paper towel roll right on top of her head and just kind of, there you go. Once you deter them from biting you a little bit like that, and they kind of ball up a little bit, then it's pretty simple. And once you get her completely off, there should be no issues. Oh man, you see, she's even striking at the light. So the biggest thing is getting her off without harming her or harming the eggs, or actually yourself getting harmed. But I'd rather get bit than have an egg or the snake be harmed. So, all right, cool. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 eggs. 10 healthy, nice clear eggs. So I'm gonna go ahead and just wash her off a little bit. See, she's not extremely thin. She was a very solid, very thick snake. I fed her, I don't know how many dozens of big soffers while she was building. So she's not as thin as most snakes, but she definitely lost a lot of body weight, of course. And I'm sure she'll be back on food immediately. So I'm going to wash her down, put her in a completely clean enclosure, and then in a couple days just offer her a meal. I'm pretty sure she'll take it. Okay, so once I got the eggs like this, the next step is to get a properly sized container. And I always have plenty of them. I have 3 different sizes, actually. I have a really small one for clutches up to 6 eggs. I have a medium-sized container that can hold actually probably like 10 eggs at least, but then I have this other larger one that I use, which is one of my more favorite ones because it has the locking mechanisms. The smaller one also has this locking mechanism, and I find to like it a little bit more than the just pop tops, because I feel like it holds humidity a little better. Not good enough to the point where you can stop using the press and seal. I use the press and seal on the medium and on this size container. I actually just started using press and seal. Before, what I was doing was I was keeping more containers of water inside the incubator. It would just cause a ridiculous amount of humidity for no reason. All on the outside, I mean all the way inside the incubator, but inside the egg crate is the only place that the humidity really matters. So. And this is already pre-prepared. Just pretty much what everybody else says. You know, I do enough where you can see the water coming out if you tip it to the side, and it's soaked in there. So if I squeeze it down, there's no way that I'm going to get any water coming out from the bottom over here. What we're going to do is all the eggs that are stuck together, I'm going to leave them stuck together like this and just place them exactly the way they were laid on top of the egg crate. And if you guys use easy hatch trays or anything like that, those things are awesome too, so you can definitely use those. I just don't use them because I just already had the egg crates, and the easy hatch trays only fit in one of the containers that I use for my eggs. So at where I was at in my collection, I just, in general, I just decided to just stay doing the same thing I was doing, to be quite honest with you. So I actually gotta go get my flashlight in the other room, so I'm gonna go get my flashlight and the other 2 eggs. I'm gonna set them up and put them the way they're supposed to be. Just take off all this extra And guys, of course, I use nothing but 100% royal hemp bedding. The snakes love it. Actually, I'll never use anything else, to be quite honest with you. I'm in South Florida, so humidity isn't an issue. I don't have to keep my substrate too wet. Sometimes you do have to add a little bit of humidity to it, but it absorbs really well. The quality that I sell does not mold. There's a lot of hemp out there that will mold and grow mushrooms. My hemp will not grow mushrooms. It will not mold on you quickly. It will mold on you. I mean, eventually it will mold. Okay, guys, so I got the eggs all set up the way they're supposed to be. And what I do is I pretty much add, I'm going to get something else. Maybe like some little wooden dowels or something that I can put in there, or some thick straws. But for right now, what I do is I just pretty much put in these little pieces of the light diffuser, like on the edges, and it's just to hold the eggs in place so that they don't roll over and fall out of there or anything like that. Which I haven't had any issues ever with any eggs ever rolling on me, but it's one of those things where it could happen. I just try to keep just to the point where I can have more or less all the edges surrounded. And I definitely don't mess with my eggs too much whenever I have them in the incubator. I just let them, all I do is open them up to make sure I don't have anything molding, and that everything's just the humidity's good. I don't have too much condensation buildup, because you don't want condensation. You don't want condensation buildup falling on your eggs. That can be very catastrophic. So you see, all four sides are covered well. See, these guys, what they do, for whatever reason, they're not gonna go anywhere. I do have a little extra piece. I'll just stick it right here. And I'll be honest with you guys, I never want to have a really large collection. People say, "Oh, you have over 100 snakes," but yeah, when you look at it from the standpoint of a breeding standpoint, having 50 or 60 breeder females and a couple dozen males is not a large collection. It's actually just it's a respectable, smaller boutique style collection, because I really do focus more on higher end animals, on clowns more than anything else, on highway stuff integrated with clown and with other stuff I'm working on, and a lot of blackhead stuff with clown too. I have very specific projects that I work on. So then my incubator, I have it, I set it at 89 degrees, and I set it at 89 degrees because it actually ends up cooking the eggs at 88 degrees. And I keep a very consistent 88 degrees throughout the entire incubation process. So I use, of course, a hot box incubator from Sea Serpents. If you guys need a good incubator, check out Chris at Sea Serpents, and he'll hook you up with a really nice, very nice quality, very well made incubator. I've had this one for a few years now. My first season I ended up buying like a used chicken incubator from a friend of mine, and it worked well. I ended up selling it recently because I didn't need it any longer, and it worked well for what I needed it to work for. But now I have something a lot more professional that works. It's just built specifically for. The other one was professional too, but this one's built specifically for reptiles. It has a nice fan on top. It's got LED lights inside. It holds humidity really well. What I usually do now is just maybe maybe every few days, once a week, look through and see if I have any condensation built up inside these eggs, and just open up the press and seal. Maybe even put a new press. Take it off, take the water off, put a new one on there. If you don't do this, you will drown your eggs. If you don't give them enough, because right now they're not having, they're not going to have any oxygen exchange for the most part, because they're pretty much sealed in here pretty well. It might not be 100% seal proof, but it doesn't have to be. For there to be proper oxygen exchange, you need to have a little bit more than just 1 or 2%, or even 5% oxygen exchange. You want to have a decent percentage of it. This will work fine for now, and then every few days, look at it, open it up on the corners. Let the air flow a little bit, seal it back up, put it away. If it builds up a lot of water, I'll just take it all off, put new seal on it. Then when it gets maybe 4 or 5 days, day 52, day 53, I just completely take off all the press and seal and just leave the lid on shut and and until they pip. Once they pip, I cut some bigger windows, and a day or two later they're out. Okay guys, so the incubator, the incubator is already running with another clutch inside that was laid a few days ago. So it's set up exactly the same way. It was another clutch that was also 10 eggs. And I put on the press and seal, the perlite with the 50-50 perlite and water. I'm gonna put it inside right now, close up the incubator, and basically put a little tag on here that says, has a date, 60 days. And then in 60 days, day 50 something, the eggs should concave quite a bit around, right around day 50. And then, just with me, it's pretty consistent. The eggs start to deflate around day 50. I get pippage around 54, 55, 56. And by day 57, 58, 59 at the latest, they're out. It won't take longer than 60 days. And I don't like to cut. I actually like to wait till at least one animal pips, and then I cut. Every time that I've cut in the past, it's just always better to wait for one animal to pip. Yeah, there could be the umbilical cord tying up and all that kind of stuff, but they won't all be tied up. There's going to be one animal that's going to pip, and then once you cut the rest, you'll find the one that's tied up. Don't wait for all of them to pip, but at least wait for one of them to pip. That's just my advice, guys. And if you want to get knuckles, strong hands and strong knuckles like these, I've been breaking boards for like 20 years now, so get you some, baby. I'm just kidding. Alright, so this is my incubator right here, guys. It's a Sea Serpent's Hot Box incubator. And I already have a bunch of egg crates already set up for eggs. Right there we have a 10 egg clutch. And all these other ones are for smaller clutches I'm expecting to come down. Obviously it's open now, so it's not gonna read the right temperatures or humidity. But I do keep it as close to 100% humidity as possible. Inside in this area, it stays around 89, 90% humidity and 88 degrees. Inside the boxes, you see condensation, stuff like that. So I definitely have, the percentage inside the boxes is in the 90s. If it's not, you're gonna have issues with the eggs being able to absorb humidity in the beginning, and then you're gonna have issues later on with the eggs not being able to, the snakes not being able to absorb the yolk, because if they dry out, the yolk gets hard and they're not gonna be able to absorb it. So a lot of times, that lack of humidity inside the egg crates, inside the egg boxes, and then having those hard yolks and all that kind of stuff kind of goes hand in hand. These are my favorite. If I could get all of them like this, these are perfect. Because these actually seal so well, because they have this little groove over here on the edge, and they seal so well that these I never have to put any kind of press and seal on. If I could find egg crates in that size, the large size, and then this medium size like that, I'd buy all of them. Which I'm going to try to look and see if there's anything like that. So guys, yeah, if you guys are breeding snakes and getting involved, invest money in your stuff. Buy, don't cheap out on your have 3 thermostats in here. I put one in each level usually. But this is things that been running perfect for a couple years now. I just plug it in and it's always perfect. So I don't have to worry about that too much. It's just more like, just in case the fan gets turned off or something happens inside, or, just to keep track. But this thing is foolproof. Invest in your snakes, guys. Invest in not only your animals. You don't have to buy ARS racks or Freedom Breeder. It's better to have better snakes than better racks, and then buy your racks with your snake money. That's pretty much what I did. I started with Sea Serpent racks, and they're awesome. But I wanted something that I just enjoy these racks more, and it just gives it a different look, a different feel to the whole room. And I just personally enjoyed it more. Some people have better snakes than I do, and they have, handmade racks or homemade racks all over the place, and that's perfectly fine too. So it's like whatever you want, It's like whatever you guys feel like makes you happier, whatever you enjoy more, that's what you should do. But definitely at no point should you have Freedom Breeder racks full of like normals and like hepides and stuff like that. That's crazy. Which you can, but it's just kind of crazy. Yeah, hope you liked the video, guys. Like, share, subscribe. I'm going to put out more content very soon. I'm going to show some of the holdbacks, but they all ate like a few days ago, so I'm not going to show the holdbacks this week. I'll probably show them next week. And I'm getting over this horrible cold. I don't got the Rona. I tested negative, thank God, and I ended up just having a really bad cold and all week and just all kinds of crap. So I'm getting better, and just going to put out more content. There's a Tampa show, April 10th and 11th. We'll be there. Also Daytona, National Reptile Breeders Expo in August. We will be there as well, with snakes and hemp. So get ready, guys. And remember, Royal Hemp Bedding on Facebook. I already have royalhempbedding.com. I'm going to be putting in more content on the Instagram. So if you guys need any of the best bedding for your rodents, for your snakes, for your small mammals at home, for your chickens, for your horses, for your horse stalls, guys, this stuff is the best out there. Trust me when I say this. It's not the cheapest, but it's 100% the best.